welcome to Good Game Spawn Point, the show for younger gamers by gamers. I'm Barjo.
And I'm Hex.
And I am Darren.
And it's been an exciting week in the den of gaming this week as we finally have our hands on virtual reality with the Oculus Rift.
Can I have a go, please? Pretty please, with transistors on top.
All right, settle down, Darren. You'll get a go later on in the show.
Yes, but also on the show, we finally get the sequel to Plants vs. Zombies, Plants vs. Zombies 2. It's about time.
Right, well, I'm going to go read the news while you set up the Oculus Rift in the office.
Oh, good plan.
I could help you calibrate it, Barjo.
Go this way, so what?
Barjo! Wait for me. Wait for me.
Come on, Darren.
Hex here with all the news from around the gaming world. Longtime writer of the Ratchet & Clank games, TJ Fixman, has announced that he'll be leaving Insomniac Games to work in the film and television industry. In a personal blog explaining the move, he said he'll continue to work closely with Insomniac Games to help bring the franchise to the big screen for an upcoming film adaptation, due for release in 2015.
Where's the dubstep?
Apologies, Captain. Everyone is out making the Ratchet & Clank movie.
In a bit of awesome non-gaming news, there's a new world record for the largest Domino's chain reaction. It took 12 people over a week to assemble over 270,000 Dominoes for the attempt, which took almost 10 minutes to fall. Ooh, Oculus Rift time.
Hang on, Darren, almost got it. Oh, be careful. Okay, Hex, we're almost ready to go.
Great.
Now, I've been excited about the Oculus Rift for a very long time, so let's finally check out what it's like to be in virtual reality.
So, how does it work, Darren?
Oh, virtual reality, or VR, is essentially a combination of motion tracking with a head-mounted monitor.
So it's basically like strapping a fancy monitor right up to your face?
Oh, affirmative. It creates the illusion that you're inside the game world. Wherever you turn your head or look in real life translates exactly to your perspective in the virtual world. And the headset takes up so much of your view that it's almost all you can see, making you feel like you're really there.
Oh wow, it's all in 3D. And it actually feels like you can pinpoint the exact place in space that an object should be and then just reach out and touch it. This Tuscan villa's really cool.
No, it needs to be said that virtual reality can be so immersive that it can make you feel very sick very quickly. What your eyes are seeing and what your brain is feeling just does not compute, causing you to become disoriented.
Oh, okay. I think I need to take a break.
Yes, it certainly can make you a bit sick, and that's part of finding your VR legs. It's a bit like when sailors go on the sea for the first time and they get seasickness, but eventually it goes away.
All right, Darren, so what games can we play with this?
Well, this isn't something you can go out and buy in the shop at the moment. This is just a special developer kit, so most of the games and experiences are still in development. But there are quite a few mods for games available that will make it work, and one I'm sure the Spawnlings will be interested in is Minecraft.
As impressive as it is, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done in terms of what kind of control schemes and experiences will work best and not make you feel too sick. But it's such an exciting direction for games to be taking, isn't it? And I think the more games that are designed with virtual reality in mind, the better.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting stuff, and it's potentially the start of an entirely new part of the gaming industry. You can imagine developers are coming up with all sorts of ideas. In the future, we could have all sorts of different types of headsets and controllers and omni-treadmills and...
Barjo, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. The technology still needs to be improved before the final Oculus Rift goes on sale sometime next year.
That is true, Darren. There is room for improvement here.
Yes, at the moment the screens are still pretty low resolution. In fact, you can actually see the individual pixels.
Yeah, that is one of the main things they're trying to improve on. But right now, in some games, it really feels like you're looking through a fly screen.
They are aiming to put in much better displays, so hopefully that's not going to be an issue when the device is actually released.
They're also going to make the motion tracking even better. At the moment, it easily tracks looking left, right, up and down, and tilting side to side. But you can't lean forwards to get a closer look at something, and that's something they're very keen to get working. Now, strap me in, Barjo.
Oh, okay, Darren, hold on. Hey, give me a hand here, Hex.
Okay. Have you got it?
Hang on. I have to go for one eye, I think, Darren.
Oh, that's all right. I'll just reroute my optical signals.
Okay.
Excellent. No, it's time to ride the Rift roller coaster. No, it's not quite as good as the Poopanoob. It's I don't feel so good.
Oh, no.
No, incoming robo spew.
Darren,
Incoming robo spew.
do you need a bucket?
Barjo, take it off. Take it off.
Stop.
Take it off. Barjo, take it off.
I can't find a bucket or anything. Oh, poor Darren. But I think we got out of there just in time, to be honest.
Absolutely. More importantly, Bag's not cleaning up Darren's spew.
Well, I'm not cleaning it up.
Well, I'm not cleaning it up, so...
Goose! Goose can clean it up.
It's ringing.
Good Game Office, Goose speaking.
Hey, Goose, it's Banjo and Hex here. What are you doing right now?
I'm very busy, guys. Can't do anything.
Fantastic. Hey, Goose, could you please help us out? Because Darren's done a massive robo
Massive
spew
robo
everywhere.
spew.
Susan, Hex and I are too busy to go
We're
take
too
care of
busy.
it. Can you please clean it up, Goose?
Guys, I'm
Thanks,
too
Goose.
busy. I wouldn't have time to do that. I can't.
Bye, thanks.
What a guy.
He's a good man, that Goose.
Yeah.
Well, now that that's sorted, let's get on with some questions. And the first one we have today is from Blake, who is in Kadena, South Australia.
Getting
What a
angry
guy.
emails from Goose.
Now just ignore them.
Okay. Hi, GGSP. Do you have any tips on getting past level 2 on Luigi Mansion 2? And Darren is the king of noobs. Banjo, do these. Hex, do these. I like that last one, Hex. We can definitely help you out there, Blake. So, in this level, you have to track down all the gear parts from the red ghosts. But before you get into all of that, right at the start of the level, run down the hallway into the main hall and go to the open door, and you'll see a ghost run away. Chase him back down the hallway and catch him to get yourself a key.
Oh yeah. Hey.
Then run back to the main hall and head up the stairs. Halfway up the stairs, they'll collapse into a slide and you'll have to fight this blue ghost. But once you catch him, you can head up the stairs.
Once up there, open the door with the key and head straight into the parlour and use your vacuum on the record player until the green ghosts come out. Once you catch them, a red ghost will show up and drop the first gear once caught.
Oh yeah.
Then head back to the corridor and go into the bedroom. Use your vacuum on this rope to pull down a bed. Sit on it and it'll close up into the wall and get you into the study. There are a whole bunch of green ghosts you'll have to fight in there. Catch them all and another red ghost will show up. Catch him and you'll get gear number 2.
Then use your vacuum on the push setting to roll the carpet up and reveal a hidden switch. Stand on it to put the fire in the fireplace out, then interact with it to drop down into the studio. Here you'll have to fight 2 more blue ghosts, and once you've dealt with them, another red ghost will appear, giving you your 3rd gear once caught.
Head out into the corridor from there and vacuum up this loose wallpaper to reveal a hidden room with another key in it.
Hey.
Head back out and go into the lab. In here you need to vacuum the chalkboard until it flings a green ghost out at you. Once it does, you'll have to fight him and another green ghost before your final red ghost will appear. Catch him for your 4th and final gear.
Then simply head back into the main hall and try to use the gears on the contraption, and that's it, level complete.
Well, hopefully that helps you out, Blake, but let's move on to this one from Loveheart, who is in Sydney, New South Wales.
I have a hidden room in my house.
Do you?
It's where I go to de-stress when Darren stresses me out. I go into the room and I shut the door and I just go...
Is it one of those rooms that's like a bookshelf and you pull open the book and then it turns around and then when you get in behind it's the secret room?
Yeah, instead of a bookshelf though, it's a shelf full of pants.
Hi GGSP, why did the Xbox 720 change to Xbox One, not the number one? How does it work? I don't think it is that complicated. Please answer this question. Bajo is so awesome, but Hex is, I think, much more smarter at games. Darren is just an ordinary... Ooh. Ooh. Buh. Thanks. Bajo, please do these faces. Hex eats all Darren's cupcakes every time he makes it. Greedy X.
Well, Loveheart, Xbox One was never actually called the Xbox 720. That was just a bit of a silly name that everyone gave it because it was simply 360 times 2. Microsoft has never once referred to their next console as being the 720.
Xbox One is a bit of a confusing name, though. I mean, surely the first Xbox is the Xbox One, but now the Xbox 3 is the Xbox One.
Yeah, it's a bit silly. However, it's not as silly as the name Wii U.
Yeah, that's true. As for how it works, well, computer hardware always seems like magic to me, and to be honest, it's actually extremely complicated. There's lots of microscopic little transistor thingies and bits of memory and graphics and hard drives and lasers and stuff, and then you plug it in and turn it all on, and that just makes games happen. It takes some very smart people to make all that stuff.
I once tried to make a console, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
How did that turn out?
It was pretty awesome. I called it the Barjo 2600. It looked just like an Atari 2600, except it had a picture of my face on the
Had a
front.
picture of your face in the front, of
Barjo
course.
2600. Get yours today.
All right, well, I think we should probably just leave that to the professionals. Let's move on to this one from Hizakue, who is from Japan outside Australia.
It also had Pitfall and Frogger, except they weren't called that. They were called Barjo's Frogger, and it was a Barjo that would jump across
Very
logs and stuff.
narcissistic to just put
And
your
then-
face on a console, and that's the console.
Q. Hi GGSP. Darren isn't a robot because robots can't talk. Darren is just Goose in a costume. Do a review of Pokemon White to Black 2 or Platinum. I think you'll find robots can talk. C-3PO, Wally can say his name, GLaDOS can talk.
Oh, it's you.
You know her?
It's been a long time.
Clank, Daleks can talk, Bender can talk, and of course Transformers can
Yes,
talk.
all
Most
right,
of them.
Barjo, I
Some
think
of
you've
them
made
can't,
your
most
point.
can.
Robots can indeed talk. But we promise you, Hizakue, that Darren is definitely not Goose in a costume. How could they be? I mean, they're always doing stuff together. Actually, speaking of those two, we should probably check on how Darren is feeling.
Oh, yeah. It's ringing. Oh, hey Goose, well, how's it going up there?
Oh, guys, it's everywhere. It's disgusting.
Oh. Oh.
Hold my antennae back, Goose. Oh, Darren.
Oh, they're still going! Oh, it's going through the phone!
Oh, gross!
Oh, right. Well, it sounds like he's kind of got something under control there, so,
That sounded very far from under control, Barjo. Anyway, we've actually reviewed Black and White 2 already, and you can watch that along with any of our old reviews on our website. But now let's move on to a rather epic question from Cornex Longnameson, who is trapped inside a companion cube in Queensland.
they still hear the screaming head.
Was it really coming through the phone?
Try and get it all in the bowl, Darren. Oh, toxic. Oh, there's a lot of it.
Hello, Cornex here. You may remember me as Cornex 711, pronounced Cornex 711 Hex, the Legionnaire of the Derpy Octopus, the Orange Bulb Orb, and the Space Corps. I have 3 questions. First. Why did video game music on platforms post-Nintendo 64 era? Lol, this is an era I completely made up. I mean, things like NES and Game Boy sound like someone hitting a microphone or an electronic beep, like in the Super Mario Bros. 3 main theme. Secondly, this is a boring question, do I need to buy new controllers for the Wii U? Conclusionally, new word, why do you think the red turtle shells are attracted towards carts in Mario Kart? I'm sure Darren will have some scientific reason why red is homing over green. Like maybe the red colouring comes from iron oxide and therefore is magnetic, and the metal carts constantly crash into each other, making themselves magnetic and thus attracting the turtle shells. Yay, I made a simple concept complex for no good reason. Bye! Please answer. I would put emoticons, but this question is long enough. P.S. I lied, companion cube.
Oh, well, Cornex, that's actually quite an interesting question. We're not audio technicians or anything, so we can't go into all the little details, but from what we understand, old consoles had their own little music synthesizer chips in them, and games would actually send code to the chips to make the sounds and the music.
Yeah, and games still kind of do that today, but they just have a lot more data and hardware to work with, so they can sound amazing. But back in the day, they had to make do with very simplistic electronic bleeps and bloops.
Yeah, so whenever I hear those hexes, it touches a place in my heart.
Yeah.
All the memories come flooding back.
Nostalgia.
And because each synthesizer chip was a different one, all those old consoles had quite distinctive sounds for each console. So a Game Boy sounds different from a Super Nintendo, which sounds different from an Atari 2600. But nowadays, everything pretty much sounds the same, but that's not a bad thing, because it sounds awesome.
Yeah, as for whether or not you need to buy new controllers for the Wii U, well, no, not really. If you buy a Wii U, it comes with one of the big new tablet controllers with a screen, and while it can support up to 2 of those controllers, no game we know of actually uses 2, and I don't think you can even buy them separately yet. Instead, any additional controllers are just any of your old Wiimotes, so if you've got a bunch of them already, then you're set for controllers.
But as for why red shells in Mario Kart are attracted to carts, well, my theory is that it's less of a magnetizing effect and more to do with the fact that red shells naturally seek out heat. and are attracted to the hot exhaust from the cars.
Good theory, but your theory is pretty good too, Cornex. Anyway, on that note, I think we're out of time for this week. If you'd like to ask us anything, then you can go here and send your question in. Now, let's get back to the studio, and hopefully Darren is feeling a little bit better by now.
Yeah. Watch out for the spew on the floor.
Oh,
Coming out of the phone.
how does that happen?
I'll just clean it up.
Careful! Roger, careful!
I'm okay.
Feeling better, Darren?
Darren?
Oh, affirmative. I'm much better now. I just had to run a system restore. The entire planet was out of internet for 20 minutes, but small price to pay.
Okay, well, the good news is we finally get to play Plants vs. Zombies 2. It's about time.
And it is about time, isn't it, Hex? This game has been in development for 4 years. What have they been doing?
Well, no, I wasn't complaining that it's about time. That's the name of the game.
Yeah, it's about
Plants vs.
time.
Zombies 2, it's about time.
I know, it's taken ages.
No, the game is poking fun at the fact that it's taking so long to,
Well, I don't
make
think it's
the game.
very fun that it's funny that they've taken so long.
Plus, it's about time travel.
play it
So
now.
it's about time. Get it?
It's not very timely. I like that this game doesn't take itself too seriously, especially the hero Crazy Dave, who wants to go back in time to eat a taco. You see, he ate the taco the first time and enjoyed it so much he wants to go back and experience that all over again.
A very deep premise. Just like the first one, the object of the game is to stop the zombies from reaching your house. And your only defense against the zombies are those lines of botanic weaponry.
My go-to strategy for this game is still hardwired into my brain. I devote a couple of lines up the back to sunflowers. They create extra sunlight, the game's currency for building new plants. Then I'd have a couple of lines of pea shooters as my artillery, topped up with a line of torchwoods to set the ammo on fire. And lastly, a line of walnuts to keep the zombies munching whilst my artillery did its job. But I found with this game, that didn't work every time.
Oh, you have to mix things up in a sequel, Barjo, to stop things getting boring. Take the first era. Ancient Egypt is littered with tombstones that block peas. So you have to switch to cabbage catapults and the all-new boomerang plants.
What did you think of the new plants, Darren?
Calculating. According to my analysis, there are actually fewer plants in this sequel than there were in the original game. Does not compute.
Yeah, I know how you feel, Darren. I was disappointed at first, but, you know, after a while, the less is more approach really grew on me. You don't have to worry as much about equipping super specific plants like the balloon-popping cacti. Plus, I really like that short-range chompers have been replaced by boxing bok choy. I use these guys a lot, especially on the pirate ship levels.
Oh, I like those pirate ship levels a lot. Yarr, give it a bar. They normally only have 2 full-length rows that act as a boarding plank between your ship and the zombies. The new spring beans are awesome on these planks because they can toss zombies off into the water.
Unfortunately, I found the spring beans took a long time to recharge. It's essential to have some powerful plants to support them. Like these watermelon catapults. Starred.
For me, the new Star Challenges are the big game changer. They dish out very specific challenges for you to complete, and you can travel around the map and choose which challenge to do next. But like this one, where there's a line of precious flowers the zombies can't trample. Plus, the hardest bit is at the end when you need to take out 8 zombies in one combo. I found the game really shone when I only had a limited set of tools to get the job done with.
Yeah, I like those challenges a lot. Also, I like the free-to-play model here. I thought it was balanced perfectly. You can play this game entirely for free without spending a single cent and have a great time, but I still chose to spend a few dollars here and there, mostly so I could get the Torchwood plant, which I really wanted, but also because I was having a good time, and because of that, I was encouraged to give the developers something back for making an excellent game, and that's the sign of a good free-to-play game. So I'm giving this 9 out of 10 rubber chickens.
Yeah, I enjoyed this even more than the first one, so I gave it 8.5 out of 10.
Well, sadly, that's the end of another show for this week, but we shall return next week, and we're going to have a look at a game which was inspired a little bit by Minecraft, Cube World.
That game uses voxels, volumetric pixels. Volumetric pixels. I
Yes,
said.
all right, Darren. You can tell us all about it next week because we're out of time.
Negative. Everyone must stay in their seats for the debut of my new show.
What show?
Show?
Goose and I have been hard at work on it, and it's coming up next in 5,
What?
4,
What's this?
3,
Carrie know about
Oh, it's not a
two,
singing show, is it?
1. Roll the tape, Carrie.
Oh, no!
Darren, these boxes are really heavy. What have you got in here?
Oh, just some spare nuts and bolts, a flux capacitor, a beryllium sphere, and all my games. Actually, speaking of my games, do you mind making some space on your shelf?
Oh, no, go right ahead, Darren.
Done! Excellent! And all in perfect alphabetical order.
I'm pretty hungry now, Darren, and those cheese toasties aren't going to make themselves. How about we get some groceries?
Affirmative. Having the time of your life. Ah, a spot of SingStar tonight, I think. What is this mess? All the games are out of their boxes and it's all over everywhere. It's a shambles. Oh, here we are. Let's see. It's gone! It's gone! Goose!
What's up, Daz? Having trouble with your sleep mode again?
I can't find SingStar ABBA at all. How can I be a dancing queen without SingStar ABBA?
Well, Darren, why don't you just sing some songs off SingStar Pop? I mean, there's a couple of Cyndi Lauper tracks I know you like.
Goose, we need to have a robot-to-human talk. Now, I know you've been really busy with this field story you're working on, but I think it's important to put any game you play back on the shelves. Otherwise, they may get lost, or even worse, the disc might get scratched and become unplayable. You should always put games back in their original cases.
Okay, Darren, I'm sorry, I understand. Okay, I'll get this all cleaned up for us. Oh, Darren.
Yes?
See that girl, watch that scene, digging the dancing queen.
Never mind.
Oh, Darren, that was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I kind of want to be in an episode.
Me too. Can I be in the next one, Darren? Please, please, please.
Oh, you'll have to audition.
Oh, okay. No worries. Well, until then, Badger out.
Hex out.
Darren out.
Darren, I've got some ideas. Okay, so Hex and I, we're part of a medieval team.
Yes,
okay,
I'm like a warrior
Yeah.
who has a really
yeah.
cool hat.
And I'm a knight, and so we'll need some dinosaurs. and
This is too stupid. I'm shutting down to conserve power.
I guess I'll shut down too then.
Well, everyone can't just shut down and leave me here.